Welcome to this session. Today we are going to perform one experiment in physics lab named as Colpitt's oscillator. So before going to perform this experiment, we should know the theoretical background of this oscillator circuit. Oscillator is an electronic circuit which converts DC into AC. There are different types of oscillators are available. First one is RC type oscillator. This type of oscillator is also known as the audio frequency oscillator. So in this case, the combination of resistors and capacitors are used, and they are designed for low frequency signal, so that they are named as a audio frequency oscillator. For example, phase shift oscillator, Wien bridge oscillator, these are the two different types of RC oscillators are used in practical purpose. Second type is LC oscillator. In this case, combination of inductor and capacitors are used. Hartley and Colpitt are the two examples. So in this case, the combination of inductor and capacitor, particularly for designing very high frequency signal beyond that 20 kilohertz, so that this particular type is also known as a radio frequency oscillator. But if we want to design the circuit for very high frequency signal, the third type is used. That type is crystal oscillator. So in this way we can design. Now we are going to perform this experiment Colpitt's oscillator. In this case, this is the actual circuit of Colpitt's oscillator, in which we are using one transistor, two resistors R1 and R2. The value of R1 is greater than the value of R2. Then heart of the circuit is LC tank, in which inductor and capacitor, they are connected in parallel. But instead of one capacitor, we are using two capacitors in series, like C1 and C2. And there is one emitter resistor which is connected at the emitter with respect to ground. This is actually used to maintain the operating point in the active region, particularly for this transistor. So here we are using one regulated DC power supply whose voltage is required for this circuit is 15 volt, and we want to check the output at the output of this circuit at collector with respect to ground with the help of DSO or CRO. So before performing this experiment, our aim is of this circuit is to design and test the Colpitt's oscillator for the frequency of 2.7 megahertz. So that a given frequency is 2.7 megahertz. So for this frequency we have to calculate the value of inductor L and capacitor C. This formula F is equal to 1 upon 2 pi root LC, in which three variables are used. Frequency F is given, inductor and capacitor values are unknown, so that we have to find these two values. So this is not possible to find three variable with one known value, so that I am choosing capacitor C1 and C2. The value of capacitor C1 is 0.020 microfarad and value of capacitor C2 is 1 nanofarad. So from which we can calculate the equivalent capacitance. C is equal to C1 C2 divided by C1 plus C2. Now put these the values of capacitor C1 and C2. This is 0.020 into 10 raised to minus 6, and here value of capacitor C2 is 1 nanofarad, that is 1 into 10 raised to minus 9, divided by here 0.020 into 10 raised to minus 6, and this is for which is converted in micro 0.001 into 10 raised to minus 6. Now multiply at the numerator. So we are getting this value 0.020 into 10 raised to minus 15 upon this value becomes 0.021 into 10 raised to minus 6, and if we take the ratio of these, the value becomes 0.9523 into 10 raised to minus 9 farad, that is equal to 0.9523 nanofarad. This is the equivalent capacitance. Now with the help of equivalent capacitance we can calculate the inductor. So how we can calculate this inductor? With the help of this formula, F is equal to 1 upon 2 pi root LC. So take square of this equation on both sides. F square is equal to 1 upon 4 pi square L into C. So L is equal to 1 upon F square 4 pi square C. Now put the value of F given frequency is 2.7 megahertz, that is 2.7 into 10 raised to 6 bracket square into 4 into 3.14 square into value of C 0.9523 into 10 raised to minus 9. Now taking the square of this term, 2.7 is square of 2.7 is 7.29. Okay, then 10 raised to 6 is square is 10 raised to 12. Here 4. The square of 3.14 is 9.86, and the value of capacitor 0.9523 into 10 raised to minus 9. So after calculation we got this result, 3.65 microhenry. So this value is value of inductor for which the circuit is designed. Okay, now move towards the actual circuit. Now we are going to perform the actual experiment of Colpitts oscillator. So in this circuit, one regulated DC power supply is used whose voltage range is between 0 to 30 volt. Then this is a Colpitts oscillator circuit. This is a BC147 NPN type transistor. These are the two resistors R1 and R2. The value of R1 is 100 kilo ohm. The value of R2 is 5.6 kilo ohm. This is a emitter resistor 56 ohm at emitter with respect to ground, which is used here to maintain the operating point in the active region, particularly for this transistor. This is a LC tank circuit. This is the inductor L, capacitor C1 and C2, and here we are connecting DSO. We are connecting DSO from which we are taking the actual signals, and we are going to measure the frequency of that signal. So the connection of DSO at collector with respect to ground through this capacitor. So this capacitor is called as the coupling capacitor. Now for this we are providing 15 volt DC supply. At the start the voltage given to this circuit is 0 volt. At that time we are not getting any kind of signal, so that we can say that without a DC we are not getting any AC signal. If we adjust the voltage up to the 15 volt, that is very important. Yes, when we adjust the voltage at 15 volt, we will get the signal at the output of this circuit in the AC form. This is the sinusoidal AC signal which is observed at the output of this circuit. Now when we see, we have to measure. Now our role is to take the reading, adjust this AC signal in a vertical direction with the help of this knob, and horizontal direction with the help of this knob. We have to measure now the wavelength of this signal. See, number of blocks are available. The value of each block either in vertical direction or in horizontal direction is 1 division. Every block is divided into 4 different parts. So these are subdivisions. The value of each subdivision is 0.25. So the difference between two successive positive peak in between them is near about 1.75 divisions or 1.8 division. So I am writing here lambda is equal to 1.8 division. Time per division, what is the time per division? Time per division is 200 nanosecond per division. So I am writing here okay, so I am writing the wavelength of that wave which is observed on the CRO. The wavelength of this value is 1.75 division. Now time per division is 200 nanosecond per division. That is the time required for completion of one wave is 200 nanosecond. Then time period is the product of lambda into small t. that value becomes 1.75 into 10 raised to 200 into 10 raised to minus 9 in second. That is equal to 350 into 10 raised to minus 9 second, that is 350 nanosecond, and reciprocal of time period becomes frequency. So 1 upon 350 into 10 raised to minus 9, so that value becomes 0.002857 into 10 raised to 9 hertz, that is equal to 2.857 into 10 raised to 6 hertz, that is equal to 2.857 megahertz. So observed frequency of this oscillator from actual practical is 2.857 megahertz, but the given frequency is 2.7. So we have to take the difference between them, so it will give the information about that error frequency. So that error frequency is 2.85 minus 2.7, that is equal to 0.157 megahertz. So in this way we can compare the actual frequency observed from this signal for which the signal is designed, particularly for the frequency of 2.7 megahertz. So this is about Colpitts oscillator. Thank you.